Alright, what's good, YouTube? So, pretty much, there's a lot of talks about the Clippers needing to get a point guard as one of their huge needs. Some say they do, some say they don't, but basically, because, the point guard, if you look at the point guard depths, we're like, the pretty much only true point guard is, Rajon Rondo, but Rondo can be, is pretty much, seems to be, a non-factor lately. And now we're guard depths, they're kind of getting a little depth, getting older. Like Pat Bev, he's pretty much aging. Who knows how much years he has left in him. Reggie Jackson, I feel like we need to bring him back, and I think he could stay, but he's pretty much more of a shooting guard, and Terrence Mann is more of a wing. Like he could play the point guard, but I feel it's pretty nice if we get a point guard people want to talk about getting Kyle Lowry and Lonzo Ball and all this stuff, which is those are not bad options. But I'm gonna do a really underrated option that people need to talk about more. And plus, this doesn't and pretty much because we have the 25th pick in the NBA draft. So, and I looked at the mock draft and I kind of watched some of the scouting reports about how each of the prospects are, and then I'll tell you this: there's a lot of talented guards that can fall down to the Clippers. So pretty much I'm gonna show you the first fallen prospect. So this is Sharif Cooper. He's really undersized, but his court vision is remarkable. Remarkable. Really remarkable. Literally, full court passes. He's really lightning quick. His defense is actually solid. That is it's better than how people credited him. He's a proven leader. His IQ is off the chart. His weakness is probably just shooting threes, but even when you see him shoot a mid range, is actually solid. But 3-point is his biggest weakness. But again, there are time to time there's a lot of prospects that even Kawhi Leonard, he struggled with shooting threes back in college. So this is my personal number one option. I wouldn't mind doing what it takes to trade up for him if it even included a Pat Bev or a Luke Kennard. Look, if you've been watching my channel or reading my past comments and other random Clippers videos, one of the biggest Pat Bev defenders. I defend Pat Bev time to time, but I mean, Sharif Cooper. I mean, it'll be good if we could do what it takes to get Sharif Cooper, because come on, and don't forget, people want to say he's undersized, but he can score. He can score on anybody, literally. His driving ability just is pretty much hard to stop. He just really fast, terrible fast. If I had to, if a good comparison, I'm not the best at comparing prospects, but if I see shades of him, I'll probably give him a John Morant or even a Chris Paul minus a 3-point shot. Maybe a Rajon Rondo that could actually score the ball really good. So those are three comparisons for him. So he's a really great option. And if the Clippers pass up on him, I'll be really mad. I'll actually be really, really angry. And if this guy's available, on the Clippers radar, if it's literally we had 25th pick and there's Sharif Cooper, we had the ability to take him. If we pass up on him, it's gonna be bad, if not worse, than passing up Michael Porter Jr. Because that's how bad it is. That's how talented Sharif Cooper is, in my personal opinion. He has one of the most that in my opinion, Sharif Cooper is probably one of the best point guards in this class, behind Jalen Suggs. So, but hopefully we take him. This is my pretty much number one option, who I want the Clippers to take if we get a point guard. So Sharif Cooper is the number one option, because I don't know, because if we get even one of the, because I'm gonna show you some other prospects too. So if we pretty much get Sharif Cooper, we pretty much don't need we could pretty much forget about getting Lonzo Ball and all this stuff, because we get to keep our core, and plus we could use some of the other pieces we have made to get probably a really a big who is not clunky. We could probably get a Miles Turner who's a great defender, or heck, we could probably just keep everything. Maybe just sign some, I don't know, some underrated targets like a Nick Batum type. like remember how like we got Nick Batum, we could probably like find some in the market, but anyways, that's a little bit off topic. So I'm gonna go with prospect number two, like who I also want, like, and it's also neck and neck with Sharif Cooper too. So this is Jaden Springer. Like the way how he plays, like his passing is definitely nowhere near impressive as Sharif Cooper, but he could like he's shown flashes that he could pass the rock. So he could pass the ball. So this guy though, he's a lockdown defender. Like what I mean by lockdown defender, I mean he plays his heart out. He plays great defense. He has a good size. He's 6'4", and the best part about him is his age is really good. So that means he has a super high upside. So basically he's 18 years old, and then basically 18 years old, and he does not turn 19 until September, I believe. And so that's the best part. In my personal opinion, when it comes to drafting a prospect, I prefer drafting a younger one because that means like they have so much more room to develop. Sharif Cooper, the first option, his age is not too bad too. Like he's like what 20 years old, but but this is also a great option too. So if it's Sharif Cooper or Jaden Springer, and if we pass up Cooper for Jaden Springer, I would not hate it though because he is a lockdown defender. He can shoot the ball. It's like 41%. If you, it's a low volume though, but if you look at his percentage, it's like 41%, which is that's pretty solid. He's pretty much like pretty good at scoring the mid range. He's fairly athletic in my opinion, at least what I've pretty much seen. He has heart. He pretty much plays with grit. So with him on like Jaden Springer, like he could probably like help with a lot of situations, like if he matches up against Luka Doncic, that would be a pretty good one. That would actually be a pretty good one because Jaden Springer he could defend. I mean, kind kind of like how Kyle Lowry could do it. Like that's a comparison for that's one comparison for Jaden Springer. Another good one is I say Marcus Smart. I think Marcus Smart best fits Jaden Springer in my opinion actually because same size. Um, they both like play pretty similar because Jaden Springer's his shooting ability is not the like I mean look the percentage is high but the volume is just not the best so because he doesn't like take too much shots he doesn't take too much 3 pointers but it is pretty good though it's actually pretty solid better than Sharif Cooper at least in terms of efficiency so I mean and which is it correlates to Marcus Smart because Marcus Smart, I mean, his 3 point shooting is just not the best, but he could kind of score like, and plus like adding Jaden Springer on the team will actually be like pretty perfect with Pat Bev to mentor him. So imagine like Pat Bev and Jane and teaching like pretty much like all the guards I'll be showing like I mean I don't know what I'm saying but now but that's option number two. And then third option, I mean, the third option is pretty much more of like a backup about what the Clippers should do if these two prospects that pretty much like are already gone by the time our pick is in, because all right. Um, and then this is third option, Ayo Dosunmu. Ayo, he's also a point. All three of them, they're like either a point guard or a combo guard. So Ayo Dosunmu, he's a combo guard. He's like a point guard and a shooting guard. He's probably like more of a shooting guard. So this guy, he can pretty much shoot the ball pretty good. He does have streaky moments from what I've been hearing, but his percentage is pretty solid though. Like what I think he shot like 40 something percent. I actually kind of forgot about that. My apologies. He has the perfect size, perfect length. But the thing is though, like it's just his age is not like he's like 21, about to turn 22. But I mean, if we don't if Jaden Springer and Sharif Cooper is not in the radar, so I suggest Clippers could take him. Or another option is Miles McBride because Miles McBride is another great defender too, similar to Jaden Springer in a way actually. So, but a little older. But so Ao he plays his defense is pretty good. He has the perfect length. He can shoot the ball. Um, his court vision is actually solid as well too. I mean, that his pretty much his comparison would be like probably a Drew Holiday. Like a Drew Holiday, he plays great defense. He can shoot the ball pretty good. Um, has streaky moments and and pretty much so. I mean, again, I don't know what the Clippers gonna pretty much do, but if what the Clippers should pretty much do, in my opinion, is like try to pretty much like keep the pick, pretty much eat a draft like one of the three prospects I suggest, or one of the four prospects actually, because I just added one. But like pretty much because again, this draft class is loaded. Like seriously, like the guards. Like I'm gonna just show you like some of the mock drafts, so y'all who don't really follow the draft too much would understand what I'm talking about. Because seriously, man, who's the best market? Lonzo Ball and Kyle Lowry and all the point guard stuff. In the trade rumors. Now I heard John Wall he liked the tweet about him going to the Clippers, but I mean. But if we get a good point guard from the draft, sheesh. Without having to trade our assets, that'd be great. But again, though, if Sharif Cooper does not not get projected around our area, I believe Clippers should try to trade up for Sharif Cooper because I'm telling y'all that dude is pretty good. So I'm gonna show y'all some of the mock drafts right now. So my bad. So this is where we're at. So this is the Clippers, 25th pick. So Miles McBride, can't go wrong with that. And then you have Jaden Springer, which is a great defender. And then you got, and don't forget all the other guards too that I forgot to mention because those guys are pretty solid too. Trey Mann and Jared Butler, you can't go wrong with those two. They could kind of play the point, but Sharif Cooper is projected to be around the Knicks, but I hope one of these, one of those prospects, they probably their stocks rise up and make Sharif Cooper can fall because this class, like I said, is supposedly going to be good as like one of the best drafts since the 2003. And I'll show you another NBA mock draft. So it's going to be this is our area. Y'all could take a look if you want. Um, yeah. And I'll show you like one of the most the mainstream one NBA Draft Net. Um, my bad if I did Google, but here's this. And so over here it would show this is where the Clippers are at. This is where like Jaden Springer's at. This is where Sharif Cooper's at. He's all the way down here supposedly, but a lot of other sites rank Cooper way higher than this. So I don't know what's exactly going to happen, but again, that's another option about how the Clippers can fulfill getting the point guard if the Clippers really need to get a point guard. So I mean that'll just pretty much wrap up the video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and be sure to like and subscribe and let me know what y'all think about this. So appreciate the love.